got 2 comics this week. This one, Killer Be Killed #1, because apparently the series just ended, and that's how timely I am. I like to swoop in right as something's ending and be like, wait, how did it start? And I got the Lex Luthor Porky Pig, and that comic has so many issues, so many real world things happening in it. I need at least one more day to even come up with an opinion on it, I guess. So I was like, let me check out what Killer Be Killed is about. I read Criminal, which is the same creative team. Plus, he's looking like Spider-Man's first day on the job, and that's always going to appeal to me. So let's just jump right into this. I mean, I got it for $1. So that's always good. We start off and we see this guy, and he's like, wait. Which I got to tell you, I don't know about that. I don't know about that as a starting point, but you know what? Ed and Sean, and I guess Elizabeth, because she's also top billed. They come in and save the day and start blasting a shoddy. So, you know what? You start off, you tell me to wait. I'm not a fan of waiting, but when you bring in the big guns. You know, back in the day, I used to be a huge proponent of using a 12 gauge in video games, but I learned my lesson. They got no range. They're perfect for up close and personal gunning people down, but I mean, I need the range, honestly. But this guy right here, his name is Dylan. This isn't how I imagined my life would be ever. Really, Dylan? You didn't picture this? You didn't picture, I mean, you probably pictured yourself in a black hoodie. Everything else pretty damn close. It says, but you don't always have a choice, do you? Let's face it, I've become pretty good at this. Now, Dylan, I gotta tell you, maybe just humble yourself a little bit, because toddlers accidentally kill people all the time. So I don't know if, you know, technically killing people is a talent, is a skill like that. So maybe just bring it down. Just bring that ego a little bit down. But then we find out it's people who deserve it. So that's always like, if you got a bloodlust that you got to take care of. Also, I just want to point out that this type of art highly appeals to me. I love it. It's like, whoa, bitch, you need to get back in there. And also you. Why are you always peeking? Don't you guys use the little peepholes? This is exactly what the peephole is for. A dude wearing all black walking down your hallway carrying a shotgun. And, you know, before you sit there and pass judgment on Dylan here, what gives him the right? That's just your defense. I mean, yeah. I mean, literally, that's like the entire argument against vigilantism. Because the world is shit right now. And we all know, you know, I feel like the world has always been shit. So these are ideas I can get down with. Just look at the news for 5 fucking minutes. I mean, now it'd just be like Trump stuff, so I mean, yeah, the Trump stuff does kind of make me want to blow my own fucking head off, because it's just, oh god. I mean, yeah, I do think him coloring the American flag is pretty fucking hilarious. I mean, #1, you got kids at the table who are coloring it in correctly. You could have cheated off them. #2, you got a pen that you wear every day. #3, there's probably at least one American flag in that room. But I honestly, just put about it on Reddit. I don't need the fucking news outlets covering that. Assholes go on shooting rampage almost daily. I mean, can we count the Madden tournament thing a rampage? Yo, I have seen so many people blaming toxic masculinity on that Madden shooting, and I don't even know what that even means. I think it's like some nonsense phrase that people use, like rape culture. Like, what are you even fucking talking about? People are dead. No more Madden tournaments, probably. Terrorists blow up airports and train stations. Cops kill innocent black kids and get away with it. Yeah, sure. That sounded sarcastic, but I do believe there's something to that. Psychopaths run for president, and I was like, when did this come out? Because I thought it came out like years ago, but apparently this series started in 2016. It ended just now, in current years, so, yeah. But I mean, if you're a psychopath, I mean, if you're running for president, you gotta be a little crazy. Because it's like, do I want everything I've ever done to be put under a microscope for at least 4 years? And if you're like, yeah, I think I can handle it, you might be a little bit crazy. Oh, and the Middle East is one nuke away from turning us all into dust, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So you know what we gotta do? We gotta go into the Middle East, we gotta get black hoodies, red balaclavas, and we just need to have shotguns. M16s and pixelated camo is not doing it, people. We need this look and 12 gauges. Honestly, yeah, that would be a lot more dead soldiers, but just imagine how terrifying. The shotgun, it's got a terrifying aesthetic. So I'm just saying, you know what? Just I better shut up because I don't want to get recruited by the military with these genius ideas. This guy, what are they guilty of? That they're packing and that they're in a shitty apartment? You can't be living in places you can afford, I guess. There's no justice, bad people get away with everything, and greed is destroying the entire fucking planet. Exactly. See, the thing is, you know what I'm realizing? I'm not really that greedy. I gotta start getting greedy. You know why? Because greedy people have goals. You know what my one goal for this channel is? Get 100 subs. Everything else, fucking cherry on top. No, I need to get greedy. I need to start getting grimy. I'm just saying, greedy people have goals. I'm goalless. I got nothing. So, yeah, they're ruining it, but they're making fucking bank. And everybody knows if you want to get mad paid, you do a comic book YouTube channel. That's what you gotta do. That's the world we live in. So we see this guy, he fights back a little bit. He punches him, but you know what? Guy gets the upper hand. And he's got some stuff here, but we sit at our screens and fill our heads with noise and scream at each other. As if that's gonna change everything. I used to be like that too, but now my life is different, obviously. So you know what? This thing, I'm surprised what didn't happen here is everyone gets a red balaclava, everyone gets a black hoodie, everyone gets a 12 gauge shotgun. They all just go outside. What the fuck do you do when you go outside and everyone else is also dressed in that same exact outfit and everyone has 12 gauges? Who do you know to shoot? You just have to kill everyone, start over. And then by default, anyone who isn't wearing that, they gotta go first. Or just form like a super gang. Man, I got so many theories about gangs. Like, if just all the gangs would come together, white people would just be exterminated. I mean, do you really want to kill the white devil? Because, I'm telling you, I got the strats. I got the strategery, the stratagem to, annihilate the Middle East or white people. I got the plans. So, of course, he kills that guy. And then it starts off, he's like, okay, so how did I get here? And he starts off by talking about a time on New Year's Eve, he's with his girlfriend. Some guys are catcalling her a little bit. Man, they love to talk about catcalling in everything. And this may come as a surprise. I don't think I've ever been catcalled. I don't even think I've seen it done. I've been in major cities when just non-grotesque bitches walk by and I don't see, where are the construction workers? Where are the creepy dudes just yelling like, hey baby? I've never seen it. I think it might be a myth. And so these guys are catcalling this girl and he says, I tried giving them a hard look, but that was a bad idea. I gotta tell you, I've never given anyone a hard look. Because I don't let any of that shit bother me. And you guys know me, I'm more of like a shit talker. I'm fucking crazy. You can't tell what I'm going to do. I just talked about how to kill white people. You couldn't have seen that shit coming. Or maybe you did. I don't know. You're definitely going to be looking for it now. It's like Lindsay Parks, anti-white. White guilt. Hate. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, if I ever give someone a hard look, I got no step 2 in that scenario. If I give someone a hard look and they don't back down, and I feel like if you're out in the streets giving people hard looks, I feel like you also don't have a step 2. So you either gotta let that shit roll off your back or get super good at shit talking. Because hard look, what? I'm supposed to be afraid at your fixed stare and your possibly clenched jaw? Big deal. I got eyeballs and a jaw too. Go fuck yourself. So he gets upset that his girlfriend doesn't get upset. It's just like this weird thing. What are you supposed to do there? And we find out that Dylan actually has a roommate while he goes out and he handles his fucking street justice, which is probably pretty good because, I mean, when you're out here cleaning up the goddamn world, you're probably not even home that often, so it's good to split those bills. And we've learned that he tried this whole thing, this genesis came from him killing himself. But he also tried to kill himself at a previous date with pills. Total bitch move. You might as well have filled up the bathtub and slit your wrist. Jesus Christ, what a pussy. But I'm saying, school found out and they kicked him out of university, which is like, I feel like probably the reaction of most schools, but when I think of it as like a skit or something, it's just like, dude, you tried to fucking kill yourself? What the fuck? Get out of here. Get out of here, fucking loser. It's like, that probably keep them in school, give them some normalcy, but it's just like, ew. Gross. I feel like, but that's a version of everyone's reaction when somebody tries to kill yourself. It's like, oh, why couldn't you have gone through with it? Now I gotta be around you. Oh, God. So we find out he's a 28-year-old grad student, which is like way over the age, the appropriate age, but he's like, my friends are starting to live their real lives, careers, getting married. Some even having some kids. Dude, I'm 27. I got dick going on. You're 28. You got friends. You're in grad school. You're doing a lot better than me, dude. So just, you got shit going on, man. Calm down. Alright? And he's got friends. That's his roommate there. That woman there is, what is her? Kira, who was formerly his best friend, but she starts hooking up with the roommate. Now he's like a permanent third wheel. And that's a perfect representation of how he feels. He feels like a third wheel all the time. That probably has a suck. And he mentions that, it's not like he doesn't get to hang out with her. She's always hanging out with her boyfriend. Oh, what a bitch, am I right? But then he's just there. It makes him feel even lonelier. And so he just has to hear them sometimes. But then apparently at one point she says, do you want to kiss me? And then they start kissing randomly. Which is like, I guess if you're one of those dudes that hated women, you'd be like, you fucking cunt. But they actually clean it up pretty nice here. Because he hears her talking about how she feels bad for him. And that's what triggers him to jump off a goddamn building, which, you know what? A lot of people probably killed themselves over a woman, so it's a classic move. But I like the writing here. He says, I've been thinking she was going to break it off with Mason, and Kira and me would become some kind of couple. That's all. You can't do that because he's still your roommate, dummy. But that wasn't what was going on. Those kisses were the death throes of our friendship. This is where it gets good. She was giving me what she thought I'd been waiting for, but it was her voice I wanted more than anything, not her charity. That moment, nothing mattered. I felt like the only person in the entire fucking world. Like I could scream for hours and no one would ever hear it. So I said, fuck it, and I went up to the roof to kill myself. Okay, I'm going to suggest not killing yourself in winter time. If you feel the need to do it, go right ahead. This is America. You got the right. Isn't it fucked up how we don't have that yet? I feel like in 50 years we might have that right. Like Kevorkian assisted suicide. But I'm just saying, the snow, it might save your life, and then you got to deal with that. It works out great for Dylan here, but I feel like, you know what, you could have walked a couple blocks, and this is obviously way higher. You're definitely not going to survive that. And it got me thinking, like, what building am I going to throw myself off? Because obviously it's going to happen, so I got to have a building picked out. And you know what, you can go about this two ways. And let me just tell you what my choice is. It's got to be the Pyramid in Memphis. It's a Bass Pro Shop now. It makes no goddamn sense, and I want to slide down it. And I know I'll die doing it, so if I ever get really low, I'll be like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. Or, if you want to bring to light some business or something you can jump off of and bring attention to it. Maybe that Bass Pro's not doing so well, and then a bitch kills herself on it, and then people are like, oh my god, we love fishing and hunting. Boom, bringing business into that. Or if you hate it, do some heinous shit in the building and then jump off. And people will be like, oh god, no, property values plummet. Maybe you had a business guy on the side doing some insider trading via property values, via murder. You could have a whole thing going on. I'm just saying, weaponize your suicide. Oh my god, dude, that's got to be the title. That's fucking sick. So he actually survives. And he goes into his room and he's like, whew. That actually reinvigorates his zest for life. It's like, he actually says the snow is fucking beautiful, which it probably is, but we don't appreciate it. And that's why we don't ever see the snow so much. Not because of the whole global warming, but he says, and I was right about that, it's just not what I expected, because something was moving in the shadows of my room. A darker shadow. I wasn't alone. Hello, Dylan. Try to stay calm. I should be doing like a weird voice for that, but I'm not good at voices. Calm yourself. Do you want them to hear us? His voice was like fingernails scraping my soul. That's not good. He's a demon, and he's coming to cash in on that second chance. A life for a life. I mean, I don't think you can negotiate a better deal. Life for a life. So he wants him to kill bad people, one each month. We'll call it rent. And I gotta tell you, I feel like that's not, that he should be going after more, because look, well, I could be dead next month, but you know what? I'll probably be alive tomorrow. I feel like you can say that for most people. Probably will be alive tomorrow. You gotta start stacking bodies. You gotta say, you know what? I need one a day, like the fucking vitamins, but the vitamins serving size is actually 2 a day. The whole company is a fucking fraud. I'm just saying, once a month? Come on, D. I thought you were a demon. What are we doing? We're fucking around? Or do you want me to murder some people? So, and he's like, look around. Everybody's bad. And so, to really hammer that point home, he breaks his arm, but his left arm, I believe Dylan is a righty, so he can definitely still shoot somebody. Kira takes him to the hospital and takes care of him, you know. And he contemplates revealingly, yo, I've been kind of into you. Let's just try this out. Because you got to remember, 5 minutes ago, he realized that life is worth living. What a disgusting thought. But then he's like, no, he missed his chance. And then he doesn't kill anybody for a month. He starts getting sick. He goes to the doctor. The doctor writes on a prescription pad, one murder. And that's exactly what happens. You don't even have to, you can read it yourself and you'll see. It actually looks like a very prominent doctor. There's tons of degrees drawn on the wall. And while he's walking around, be like, oh, basically feeling like death, some homeless people just straight up attack him. Like, he's not even dressed that great. Like, what's he gonna have, like $7 in his wallet? But I mean, these guys look super homeless, ultra homeless. So you know what, there's no risk involved at all. So they just beat the shit out of him. They do have a gun. Which is like, why are you homeless if you have a gun? You could just be breaking and entering a different apartment every night when you got a gun. Like, see, my worry is that a criminal mastermind, or the United States government, or all the gangs are going to hear my thoughts and they'll be like, we need to bring her in. She's too gifted at atrocities. And then we see he's lying in the snow here. I'd like to tell you, I lay there, I feel like laid there for a long time thinking about everything over and over again, but the truth is it only took a minute before I thought, the hell with this, I'll do it. So, you know what? Seems pretty good. I love the art. Definitely worth the $1. How fucked up is that? Not fucked up at all. And now I just had to find someone who deserved to die and kill them. How hard could that be? And you know what? I can see it's got some social issue stuff that you may or may not disagree with, that kind of thing, but I think we can all agree. The world is just full of shit.